Oh Jesus, this about to be a banger, let's go. An enigma, alien, unicorn, truly a sight to see. She goes by Vanquish, but you can call her Queen V. And no, she's not vain. Why, that's insane. Ha, she is very humble. We were the pack, no bumble. Jack of all trades, slumber. One day you'll make it my yellow hummer. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Now you know you want to eat me. I'm great for your help. I personally will never be confined because of my skin color. Not by society nor the colorist black community, who pits fair-skinned blacks against darker skin, claiming light skin is superior. A community that believes being nice or smiling is a weakness or you're dumb. That being different or quirky means you're an Oreo or less black. Yet when I'm in the real world, I still get mistreated or judged because of my complexion. I'm from the hood, born and raised, KKO, where the norm is being loud, wretched, ghetto. A place that falsifies belonging with sayings like, what happens in a family stays in a family, blood is thicker than water, snitches lie in ditches, and kids shouldn't speak unless spoken to. Reality is, it's just a huge barrel with crabs in it. Everyone is trash talking everyone, yet smiling in each other's face and kicking it. No one wants anyone to win, and if they succeed, they're a sellout. As African Americans, we are confined to reside in the projects, a mental, physical, and emotional prison created by the man to keep us segregated from the rest of the world. Only a few make it out or even survive. Most still depend on government assistance to get by. Majority don't even realize they're in a matrix because they're too busy trying to live a life these rappers ain't, excuse my French. Side note, I am an avid learner of the language. Partying all day, every day like it's a job, having unprotected sex with tons of partners, not specifying genders, let's talk about it. Matter of fact, we will on the next episode, so stay tuned. Filling their bodies with toxins, killing each other, etc. Creating a false sense of unity while being the cause of their own extinction. Shout out P Money, Pierre, Daddy, Dad, the real McCoy, another casualty in this war. My baby, now he partying in paradise with my mama. For example, I love movies, watching them, I want to be in them, direct them, produce, on the camera, around the camera, behind the camera. We've all seen a movie or show where there's a killer entity or group trying to end or control a person, place, or larger group of people. And instead of those people teaming up, we have an egomaniacal imbecile who attacks within and still ends up losing or dying. TV shows like Black Mirror, American Horror Stories, The Squid Game, movies like Saw 2, Cube, The Platform, Escape Room, The Belko Experiment. Hey, I'm passionate. Oh, Jesus. Anywho, I didn't really notice other races or be around them until college, besides the Arabs at the corner gas and liquor stores.
$1 Mila. I need a $1 Mila.
People have always assumed I had an easy street suburban life because of my intellect and looks. I have always been proper and sweet. I never fit in, so from an early age, I was isolated. I enjoyed it, though the older I got, the more I wanted to experience the world. Only my mom understood me. She tried to keep me in a performing arts school for my gifts. We spoke, and I told her I didn't want to go there anymore because I knew we couldn't afford it. The travel fees, costumes, etc. I was the charity case in my dance class. Hand-me-downs became a way of life for me, stemming into my high school experience. I come from a hood-famous family, so at the new school, I had a little clout. I was Killer Quick, born fry from the K, bitch. And Gucci Man Lemonade was my fave song.
Lemon purple wings in the V cup. Lemons in your face.
I I love yellow, always have. I was only really allowed to play outside or go to the Boys and Girls Club across the way from my home. I was born in my mama's bed, the same place she accidentally rolled over on her baby, lovey-dovey, her fave pet. We had so many, especially buried in the front yard. I actually got locked in the center. So on rare occasions, there are weekend events. I attended one, but what caught my attention was the open computer lab. I was obsessed with games like Mies, Millville, SpongeBob Optical Odyssey, and Pizza Party Pickup. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game was my nemesis. Only 10 levels, and I always got caught on the last one. I was so persistent on winning, I didn't realize everyone left and all the lights were out. I get up. I was going to keep playing. Lucky I did. Every door was locked, inside and out. The office was open. I called my mom crying. I'm scared. I'm locked in the Boys and Girls Club. Moments later, she at the front door. Mind you, it's a glass door with a white cage barrier to keep out intruders. She brought the whole hood with her. We all just looking around. They all yelling, go to the kitchen and grab some snacks. It was locked. I already tried when we hung up the phone. I used the bathroom, did some cartwheels around the gym, tried to beat that level some more. No prevail for my hunger. My mom called the police and they eventually got the firefighters to break me out the back door. Everybody was laughing, happy, hugging me. Obviously, green is the theme. It's the attention to details for me. I am enough. I learned it from my strong, independent mother. Fun fact, 4 roses mean we're meant to be together and nothing will tear us apart. I have 4 roses tatted on me because I believe that's me and my mom. Nothing will ever tear us apart, even if she's up there watching over me and I'm down here. We're forever connected in spirit, and one day I will be back with her. I love this setup of her. This tiny little thing. It has her ashes inside. You know? If it was up to me, as you can see, I have a casket here. I mean, she would have been buried. I would visit her, put flowers, you know. People had other ideas. Have hood, have holy. I mean, pray with me, don't play with me. Pray with me, don't play with me. My childhood was lit. Head start going and my nephews in my class. Never happened again. Big family, no protection. Maybe that's why preschool is my favorite class to teach. I had the best mom ever. She was so resilient. The real R's bent to her will, not the other way around. They say I'm a spitting image, but she was more about that life. She raised me so well, I still follow her guidelines. Balance, unconditional love, and respect. She had every color old school Cadillac and rocked the best curly hairstyles. I'm talking baby hair's laid, drawn low popping, eyeliner, rings on every finger, whole earlobe pierced, just certain looks. Our home was an art gallery. Halls filled with photos of everyone she ever met or encountered. Mother of the hood, people came to just talk, eat, chill, party. We celebrated a different birthday every day. Cake signed Miss Q and crew. I'm a minimalist, so the fact that she dressed the 4 youngest of 8 in the same outfit was different. I'm talking about the same outfit. Jesus. I was a menace in my younger years. I stayed fighting boys. I wasn't going for the okie doke early. I fought 4 siblings in the field, only one being a girl. This one kid, I stayed fighting relentlessly. But we was cool though. I biked him on the way to a field trip and on top of a computer desk. So imagine. I'm on top of him. I'm like, I gave him hell in 1st grade. I don't even remember why. My mom got my butt real quick. I don't blame her. As a child, if I'm not listening or talking back, discipline me. Later in life when she passed, everyone decided they could beat on me for misunderstandings, not acting out. Why Miss Mary Mack not an alligator fool, but an educated fool? I was probably the only kid would be cool about fire safety on repeat when I wasn't sneaking and watching 13 Ghosts. My green Cyclops and my hopscotch Heather were my road dogs. Oh my gosh! My mom had the largest toy box ever, filled to the top. As soon as you walk in, I think it was specifically made for that super long closet. Like a never-ending purse full of goodies, you always pulling out something new. My favorite performance was a Christmas tap dance. No photos or videos. Story of my life, of course. I remember everything. I wasn't shy or scared. I was eager and excited. With my braids, my white beads, under my candy cane swirl hat. It was Grinch themed. We wore black pants, red shirts, and white thermals underneath for warmth. Speaking of Christmas, in 6th grade English class, we hear of a contest to write to or have a conversation with Scrooge. Well, writing is my niche. I created this whole script with Wendy Williams. I got the likeness down to a T. My teacher loved it and I was chosen. We met the mayor.
The mayor!
I discovered my love for strawberry cheesecake and the finer things with our meal. As they're reading everyone's submission, I was top 3 and dressed gorgeous in my chocolate flower dress, leggings, fugs, and curls. They announced a mail letter script. How people used to send letters to an anonymous woman. Confused, I look at my teacher who looks at my mom. I didn't want to disappoint her, so photo ops and accepting awards. I mean, my teacher saw my worth and potential. She wanted more from me, like my 12th grade English teacher. 6 and 12, Coinky Dinker Law. Major trigger warning. Things are about to take a sinister turn. It gets worse the deeper we dive, so I hope my veins brought a snorkel. I wasn't in a rush to grow up, so I began to distance myself from friends and my preteens. I was still rocking beads and barrettes. Cooties was still a thing to me. After being forced by a group of girls to watch a very inappropriate adult video, I was terrified. I never wanted to grow up. They would later invite boys over and try to peer pressure me into the closet. One reason I am terrified to have kids. I refuse to have a daughter. The amount of managed people in this world is sickening. You will get bullied or shunned if you don't participate. So began my fall from grace. Jesus. After living a dream, 11 years for me, longer for my mom, we was forced to move again. First it was just across the street, then on the other side of town, uncharted territory. I hated my new school, and they hated me. They started rumors and harassed me. I got my very first period in front of the whole class. It's giving Carrie. I didn't even know what was happening to my body. I cried on the phone to my mom. She said stay, so I walked out of class and hid in the girls' restroom. Luckily, I had a jacket to cover my bump. They tried to use this as an excuse to say I was the stanky one in class. How, Sway? It was my first time, idiots. Give me that fish. What if it was you hanging up on that wall? If it was you in that sound, you won't be laughing at all. Oh, give me back that flatfish. Give me that fish. Give me that. I want McDonald's. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm up hungry and I'm yawning. It's breakfast time. It's getting kind of late. Go to Mickey D's, get you a breakfast plate. But don't be mad, because other places tripping. Go to Mickey D's, get you an egg biscuit. I forgot the rest of the words. My sister stopped coming around. I used to have to beg them to visit me. I used to cry squeezing her shoes. My mom was struggling, though she stayed strong. I was starting to get chubby. No one taught me overindulgence. My mom always made big plates, always. And now there were so many leftovers, somebody had to eat them. I was bullied for my sister being popular, us not looking alike, and used for girls to get clothes. If klepto was a person. I used to borrow, though she'd say steal, her nice clothes for school. Sometimes khakis, sweaters, shirts. They were just sitting there. That didn't change how I could make myself beautiful from the neck up. I became obsessed obsessed with learning how to do a back walkover to prove I was more than JV cheer material. Though confidence plays a huge part, and I lacked it back then. I spent days, hours, weeks researching, watching videos, stretching my back. In the long run, it did work out. I'm not very flexible. I used to want to be a fashion designer. I used to cut all my pants into shorts. One day, I'm just cutting my pants and it got stuck on I think that's called the hem, the thicker part. And I had these giant scissors and I just tapped a giant hole in my leg, but I didn't feel nothing, so I kept cutting. And then I just see a lot of blood gushing out. It was just so much blood, and I'm just tracking the house with blood. And my mom just put a Band-Aid on it. Yeah, just a Band-Aid. It's no secret, my mom was doing things for her family no one understood but me. Only God can judge. A boy from class was walking home from school on the other side of the street as me. I see my mom walking. I was happy to see her out and smiling, despite her reasons for it. She would become the topic of the bullying me escapades. She gained popularity quickly. After I almost fired her, she had the fireman checking for her. He was like, "Tell Shiny Pants I said what's up." When times got tough, our local convenience store stayed making us great food on the IOU. She loved bumping music. Here With Me, still my song since birth. Gucci Mane Making Love to the Money was on repeat. Instead of Kim K, she said Killer K. Man, she loved our hood. When one of my sisters moved out, she left a friend. Our houses went from hella space, a 5-bed, 2-bath, to a 3-bed, 2-bath, to a 2-bed, 1-bath, and a basement. The living room was my mom, the room was my other sisters, until she moved out. An infestation began. And with it went all our furniture. Bedbugs was on the rise, and they took over. My mom and I went nuts. They were in my backpack, in my school notebooks, under the rug, in the kitchen, the bathroom, just you name it, they was everywhere. We tried heat to get rid of them, they loved that. We tried air mattresses, they destroyed those. I was sleeping in totes, lining up chairs, laying on crates like they couldn't climb. I wouldn't shower or bathe because they would creep up. I was sleep deprived and paranoid. She would send me away often, one time a whole summer. They just spread, and I feel bad because I couldn't do nothing. This all happened in less than a year. I now have major PTSD. I will go ape off of just a little feeling, like a mosquito. I will go crazy. I can't. I returned for 8th grade just to get in a huge fight with my mom about not wanting to bathe there. I loved her so much, but I was rushing out to avoid dragging past on my next travels. I got a major whooping. To this day, I feel it was well deserved. I should have told her instead of assuming she knew why. We hugged, said I loved you, and I went to the bus with really baggy swole eyes from throwing a tantrum begging to leave. The next day, I get the call she's badly hurt. In the ICU, I break down crying. Hair everywhere, clothes wild. I didn't care. I could tell our life was over. I finally touched her hand. She squeezes mine, yet she's in a coma. While tears went down her closed eyes, she was still coherent. They moved her to another hospital. Next day, she's dead. That's why I hate hospitals. Cold death traps. My blood donor told us to pull her plug and cremate her. I won't see those ashes for a decade. Everyone sporting necklaces, they gave mine away. They claimed she had a heart attack. Years later, I found a file saying she OD'd. They claim it was her new friends across the street from our now decayed house. It was ransacked before I could collect my things. Basement flooded from stolen pipes, memories ruined. I snuck there. Even my only gift from my klepto sister, a Hollister coat I valued, was gone. To this day, nobody talk about her around me or even ask my point of view, being that I was the last one with her that year. A diamond in the rough? That's the stuff. It's pressure, darling. As we know, there are 2 film adaptations of Sylvia Likens' story, the lighter version and the more darker version. This is the lighter version of my story. I was moved around a lot. 5 caretakers, 1 guardian. No one would want the heavy burden of caring for me. The amount of times I ran away just to get tattled on and brought back, like a bimbo in a horror film trying to get saved. Dad was never in the picture. Don't even know if the man they claim was it, is it. Her funeral was packed. It was a hood affair. Even my 8th grade teacher attended. I spoke my last poem out loud there. I was still outspoken and the audience didn't make me nervous. It was cute. The theme was yellow, though her favorite color was orange. They dressed me like her but failed big time on the hairstyle I wanted. They redeemed themselves for my 13th birthday. However, it would be the last one they celebrated. I did go out with a bang though. Literally, you couldn't tell me nothing with my Nicki Minaj Chinese chocolate bob with the sides long and the back perfectly cut. With the black and white cheetah fit and the matching Nikes with the turquoise sole. All eyes on me. I was a hot commodity. Guess I was too hot, that's why they stopped caring. I was bullied all of 8th grade for wearing the same old quick weaves too, because no one would do my hair, keeping on the same sweater daily, like I had a choice. My oversized bosom, they were in full bloom. The giant granny panties I wore on my cycle. And the baby powder fiasco. No one told me you couldn't wear black pants. I would keep a brave face until the ending of the help. When she was fired and the little girl cried. Aww. I broke down in front of the whole class. Lucky it was lunch. My teacher was shocked it took so long. I was a strong kid. I don't know when I got so sensitive. Promotion would be a depressing day. I walked and caught the bus to make it on time. No one, not one person, came to congratulate me. All the awards I won, all the people I thought I knew. They finally dolled me up for the dance after because they feel bad. That same year, my now trans niece gave me this beautiful red gown. It fitted me perfectly. But like, all of this was out and they was bigger, so they was like, and I had to go to this youth group at church. So everyone assumed I pick it out and I'm fast. So they had to use the shawl and stuff it in my top to cover them up. I was embarrassed the whole time. Start of 8th grade, I was with my first caretaker. By the end, and 4 caretakers later, I was with my money-hungry guardian. My first caretaker was alright. Her house was a bit boring. It was her touchy-feely son I had a problem with. He would later lie to the groomer, saying we did things we didn't because I stopped him. Thanks to her, I had some great fitting bras, some slightly used. I received compliments. An adult even asked where I got it from. She would later reveal her true follower colors, laughing hysterically when my guardian yelled I was a bitch. Hey, maybe she was mad I wanted to move out and blamed herself. Caretaker 2 was a Christian hypocrite. She put her men over her kids. She watched me a lot of childhood. I still held a grudge after she let her dude drop us off on a snow day and below zero weather to school. He left before we even made it to the door. Not one person in sight, a few cars outside. We hoof it back home, freezing our butts off. We all have frostbite. Encouraging each other to keep pushing on this 30-minute walk back. On a good day, so you know it took longer. My mom's house was closer. We eventually make it. No phone. Crying, tears frozen on our face. She warms us up and gives us hot cocoa. They go home. I never wanted to go back. The type to catch the Holy Ghost during the day, after partying at different clubs all night, half naked. Her long-term best friend was Satan's lesbian cousin. Small world. She wasn't super strict to me. I could go outside at least. Yet I always missed curfew and was locked out, which meant being cussed out. After people I thought were my friends spread lies about me claiming I was a tramp and a forced closet incident, I ran away to my future guardian's house. No one home. I had to pee so bad. Ruined my pants after a long walk and bus ride. I walked an hour and 5 minutes the next day because I used my daily bus pass for a failed escape. I stopped going outside until they finally let me move out. Caretaker 3 stay was short. All boys, one girl. I was new on the block and getting a lot of attention. Her daughter didn't like that and she randomly jumped on me while I was sitting down. I wasn't fighting back. I was trying to keep her at arm's length. Her mom hears the commotion, runs out, and blames me. The boys were too busy playing basketball, so they couldn't plead my case. We would eventually fight at my guardian's house. Years later, she would aid Dirty Dan in trying to ruin my life. Her and her girlfriend even left me alone in a motel room full of guys, knowing that's my biggest nightmare. They was gonna all die if they tried me, but I felt the tension. After being called every name in the book, I was sent away to my fourth caretaker's house, who had a thing for smacking butts. He then moved to the first floor of my guardian's two-family home, who he worshipped. I was invited to a sleepover with some 8th grade classmates. I brought one of the girls back, thinking he would say yes. He refused and drove her home. It was embarrassing. She watched me cry on a bunk bed because he had young sons into my boot. The next day, instead of going to school, I walked 50 minutes to go confide in my previous caretaker. She still hated me and twisted my words, causing me to get the worst beating of my life with a white extension cord. I saw him smoking a cigarette. She assumed I meant water, which I didn't know was some kind of drug. I wouldn't experience him in that state until college. I was waiting for the bus to go get an outfit for my birthday when him and some guy pulled up, eyes bloodshot, and they're excitable. They tell me they'll drive me. I reluctantly accept. We end up at Walmart, despite me telling them I was going to the plaza. Things get heated and they try to drive me all the way back to the bus stop. But not without a fee. My previous caretaker tries to offer my body up to the driver. I refuse, jump out the backseat of the car, and walk to the plaza. Mind you, I didn't even want to get in, and all this could have been avoided. After a while, my guardian heard my screams and took me in while he threw my things out. Things were cool entering 9th grade. She would dress me in skin-tight clothing, and by the time we shop for school clothes, they only had buttonless collar shirts revealing my cleavage. I got in trouble multiple times and everyone labeled me a whore, especially after I walked a boy who I had a crush on home. His weirdo friend saw and grew a hard on for ruining my whole high school experience. My previous caretaker witnessed this and rushed to my guardian to tell her I was fast. I was in honors class at the time. The girls I hung out with were quite hypersexual. After first meeting in the gym, and one of them was talking about HBO at dark and posing provocatively, they told me the rumor. He would later gas a tall, lame, scrawny guy up to fight me. Like, come on! I hit my head so hard on the desk, blacked out, and still beat him up. Towards the end of freshman year, ish hit the fan. My guardian and troublemaker get into a huge debacle. She kicks her out, then looks at me and does the same. She then proceeds to lie to everyone saying I followed her. Never been a following type. To blame or lie on a child is sick, man. I did choose to live there. A lot of my caretakers and others hated that. They enjoyed my suffering. They say don't meet your heroes. A lot of narcissists are charming to others until you get close enough. Caretaker 6 took us in and I rarely attended school. It was too far and I had no transportation. She also kept me in the house. All I could do was eat and watch DVDs. The Cleveland show on repeat. I knew every word of that season. Straight out of Stool Band. A crazy named Cleveland. This is my, I'm serving more than Morgan Freeman. They call me Hot Brown or a sea drizzle. I don't mind the rain if the rain is just a drizzle. Whizzle, wazzle, weasel, weed, razzle, dizzle, diesel, D. B-I-G-C-L-E-V-E, relatively STD free, drop Loretta. Now I'm doing much better, like upgrade to an Escalade from Jetta. Yo, hey Don, I wanna get on you. And I'm kinda hungry, so make some lasagna. I got a son, he's like a big fat Urkel. And when he's in there new, he's like a big fat circle. I do that, yes, you're big and fat. Drinking melted butter for a midnight snack. Shout out to Rallo. Hello, asshole, you 2 feet tall with a big old afro. And Roberta, I don't mean to hurt you, but it's like a famous dessert. Y'all can't get rid of me. Some better take a bigger, reconsider me. My flow is annoying. It's like so fast or this selfish choice. I'm creating the most artistic photo album ever with 3D paper roses for class. I missed a month or 2 and lost all my new photos from childhood. I tried like crazy to find that teacher. He was so cool. They ran him out, so no luck. After returning in the tag team incident, hell began. The little old school phone I had caused my first whooping. I was in the attic doing number 2 when my guardian bust in attacking me, claiming I was sending nudes. I never sent a nude in my life to this day. Never been a type. I flushed the toilet so it wouldn't smell, then stayed in there to make sure I was done while playing a game.
Honey, I'm trying to find my phone. Did you look in the bathroom? Usually bring it in there. It's not there. I already looked. I had to poop without it.
She was projecting everything her and Troublemaker did in youth, which was everything under the sun at least once. She had her first kid at 13 and the second at 15, I believe. 2 sons. They run all over her, cuss her out, and bring all walks of life in her house, and she babies them. Everything became my fault. Every move I made was watched. I was the scapegoat. Bullying me became a group effort. No matter how private I wanted to be, my room even had an open door policy. I was forced around kids 24/7. I finally had my own room, though it wasn't homey. Just a bed frame, wardrobe, and a closet. So I covered my walls in artwork from school, of which was a perfectly crafted pastel Philly steak. It looked good enough to eat. I was obsessed with moving to Philadelphia just for the sandwiches. Because I wasn't having sex and I only owned hand-me-down/baggy clothes, the gay rumors at school started. Over-sexualized since youth, yet I still don't have any kids, never had an abortion, and am celibate. I hated my boobs. I wore tons of layers, even in the summer. I borrowed nice clothes from TM when I wasn't wearing the same 3 pairs of shoes that gave me corns or the 2 pairs of khakis and shorts. While everyone else dressed to the nines in designer, even babies. I wondered where the money she received for taking me in was going. I did a case study where I got the school hyped about a fight with a girl that wasn't going to happen. I still got suspended. She was scared and snitched. Bullies was mostly boys, too buff and manly looking for females to try me. This also caused me to drop out of cheerleading and high stepping. I settled for the turn-up team. Sadly, had no support, so I couldn't perform to the best of my abilities. I loved the outfits. The first year we had a great coach and choreographer. Second year, it was student ran, and that should say enough. I was one of 2 students who passed all their OGTs the first time. Despite me purposely dropping out of boring honors, I loved math. Me and one of my main bullies used to have silent wars, seeing who would win in the Millie challenges. I was always late to this class, taking the scenic route. My guardian randomly visits after I get in trouble for that and can't attend class. I hear her enter the school while I'm hiding out in the bathroom waiting for the bell to ring. I sneak to my next class late. She catches me in the hallway after talking to my math teacher. Instantly, sucker punches me in the face in front of the whole class. I enter class crying. Everyone's laughing. A boy tells me to laugh it off or it'll get worse. I grew fond of him. He later dodges me and tries to get with my niece. After cousins from childhood tried to hang out and we befriended kids from the next street over, We sneak into the bando of our previous neighbor's house. Even though we did nothing, my guardian kicks everyone out and sucker punches me again, humiliating me in front of them, everyone younger than I with way more freedom. I would sneak on the cordless phone every time an attack happened, crying to my sisters who did nothing and blamed me. Boys from childhood would start going to my high school. One of them would offer me a ride home. He went a different way and ended up in the alley, then forcefully tried to get me to give him head. I had a hairstyle with bangs and 3 tracks for color. He yanked so hard, shocked he didn't rip them out. He eventually drove us back to the school, then got pulled over by the police. Karma, chameleon. Next day, walking from school with my cousin, they all drive past and say F me. Overall, high school was a blur, too busy with my head in the books, focused on my mission to freedom. My guardian's new dude seemed cool. He began to drop me off. We jammed to early morning radio and talked about why I didn't want to go into school early. However, the groomer offered me dark liquor one night. I went ballistic, trying to run in the street and kill myself. Her dude, the main one, screaming, "Go ahead, do it, kill yourself." I'm shocked. He started to speak on things and insert himself on business he had no place. Another time, I opened up to them about my dreams. They laughed and said, "Act right now, you don't know how to act." I always loved to make an entrance. Walk in the cafeteria bus first with my headphones serving breakfast and lunch. They always took family trips to Cedar Point, different restaurants, etc. I never was allowed to go. The one trip to a water park I was able to go after being rushed to leave, they ditched me and a slightly older male who's now trans. I was confused. I only bought a small towel. So we hitchhiked down a long country road. I was only in my tankini, no shorts. It's now dark. The older guy finally flags down the car. I thought we was good as dead. It's late fall, mind you. He made some calls. They fake sympathetic and regretful whole time. Senior year with my light glow up, we had no trips, nothing fun. Worst year to graduate. They took us to Cedar Point on the coldest and rainiest day ever. It didn't bother me because I was scoping out my future working/living arrangements. Falling in heels at least once was my ritual. I considered it good luck. Like Bambi learning to walk. I recently attended my younger nephew's viewing. I slid on melted snow in thigh-high boots. When I say I have zero privacy, as soon as I enter, everybody following me. I couldn't even pee in peace. No lock, at least 10 people busting and rushing me out, literally. I couldn't even button my bodysuit. His funeral, sun up to sundown, not one fall. That's ascension, kids. It's getting a bit intense. Let's liven the mood. I dare you to defeat my ops. Yes, I am vanquished all the snakes of my past. My name is my name. I'm really that dangerous. Mama was a ghost, so I got a lot to live up to. Dudes be crazy about me, calling my G, boo, wanna blow up my world. I'm like, what I do? They tried to hide my light. I'm the sun. You can't even shade me. I already won. Never been the type to compete. I just do me. In a room full of million people, I'm the only one you see. The princess of the slums, now I'm a world-renowned empress. Watch my walk. They say I'm a temptress. Opposite sex wanna make me well taken care of mistress. $1 million smile, never been to the dentist. One man army, they begging to enlist. Forever protected by my loved ones up above. Never needed a pistol, well, I mean a gun. Got one tatted on my hip though if you want to get froggy. Put a spell on you, have you obey me like a doggy. Many men wish death for me cause I won't give them my recipe. Call them plankton, they want my secret formula. I was in a bear trying to put me down cause my ore. I be here, I be there. Call me Dora the Explorer. Answer to no one, yeah, they never supported her. Money flow to me with ease cause I don't stress about it. Underdog gonna rise, yeah, they really sick about it. Put your head on the plaque and I'ma mount it. Straight off the dome, chrome. I live for Olive. This funky get up is from Mocha. You better shop. It's so comfortable down to the blowfish sandals. Obviously, the theme is green. Major trigger warning. We discuss mental, physical, and emotional abuse. Now on to sexual. It was a hood famous family. Everyone wanted to do and say anything to be down. Her oldest son was jailed when I was younger. Everybody loved him. He was all they could talk about. This ultimately made me fond of him in a big brother figure kind of way. I even said I was thankful for him at a Thanksgiving dinner. He got out shortly after I moved in with my guardian. Rather quickly after that, he was shot and became handicapped. They claim innocent bystander. I spent all of high school caring for him and kids, mainly his younger brother's offsprings. Cinderella to the extreme. Changing his diapers, helping him bathe, at his beck and call. Despite him being a disrespectful human being. This man cussed people out, yet they worship him. Especially women. He still had tons of women fighting over him while hitting on schoolgirls. He did try to help me get out the house and fake took up for me sometimes. During college, I would visit for parties or when I was running away from my abusive partner. One night, I was heavily drugged and he offered me to lay in a bed with him. I obliged, lying opposite. He then rubs my private area and says he'll turn me straight. I jump out the bed and run upstairs. Mind you, I only started dating a manly stud after being groomed by his son growing up. I confided in her. She used this against me, knowing I have no one left, not like there was a big help anyways, and told my guardian, who denied it, blamed me, and used the girl to help ruin my life. Satan herself would go on Facebook Live telling all my business. My guardian used this as an excuse to beat me with a broom, claiming it was over a brownie. She then kicks me out. I go back to my college dorm. I was at least 20 years old. When I was younger, my mom rarely visited places, but she let us go out on holidays. At the house I went to on Christmas, an older boy, the groomer, rubs on my no-no part as I am walking up the stairs. I was in my single digits at the time, very young and impressionable, but smart. My home screen photo was nowhere near provocative, but he claimed I was fast. I avoided him at all costs. Another girl accused him of touching her while we were playing hide and seek in the attic. Years later, he came on to a 12-year-old who quickly left and ignored his advances and discussed my niece's glow up. Once I was living with my guardian, he always wanted to be around his dad all of a sudden, so it was harder to steer clear of him. I now have jump scares out of my sleep from being touched during slumber in my youth. One day, I was wearing a tank top with fluffy pajama pants. My guardian asked me to get her phone from him. He's sitting on the floor, I'm standing. I keep reaching, he keeps pulling back. Then he pulls the top of my tank top down. I quickly rush out. He quickly rushes after me, tells me to keep quiet, then hands me the phone. The first time he deflowered me, he convinced me I was a fat dumb trap who would never have love or lose my virginity. He also knew they would take his word over mine. As I laid on my back, the pain was unbearable and the friction was dry. My eyes were squeezed shut. All you could hear was the bed creaking in the basement. The next encounter, he unlocks my bedroom door at night. My guardian knocks. I think I'm safe. She just wants the TV remote. Cable boxes were connected. He made me hit a button. He told me I needed to start wearing grown-up panties. My door-faced ones didn't cut it. The saddest forced encounter happened while I was babysitting my son from another mom. I took care of my guardian son's baby since birth. He gave me joy. Him, his older sister and brother was gang. We had the house to ourselves a lot. We stayed dancing, making videos. Anyways, as I'm chilling watching TV with my love bug, feeding him a bottle, Groomer rushes in, closes, and locks the door. The grown-ups were downstairs, music jamming, getting lit, none the wiser. I try to use my baby to get out of this dilemma. He claims the baby won't know what's happening, makes me put him in a car seat with the bottle, and places him on the floor next to us. As I laid on my back, pajama pants and undies to my knees, legs straight up, covering his face, he couldn't see my tears. Next day, he brought his baby mama over and kicked me out my own room. They slept and did things in there. The audacity. The last time it happened, I visited for a party. The guy was bold. This was before his dad molested me. He forced himself on me again from the side. However, my old room became the playroom, and I purposely didn't lock the door. Halfway in, a lot of the older kids bust in and open the door. They close it and act like nothing happened. He did stop, however. People began to notice how territorial he was towards me. Mad his dad tried me, then an older male. He tried to fight him. He would continue to try by offering me fellatio. The guy was still relentless. Yet, I was an adult who could no longer be manipulated and maneuvered out. Over 5 years later, he keeps brushing past me, pissed, no words. He was cock-blocking, his friend was trying to holler. I truly prayed for his daughters. Throughout the years, many people have sought out shelter at my guardian's house. Mostly men, some would make nudges. Only one was bold enough to go there. Senior year, a new predator would set his sights on me. The man knew no bounds. He followed me everywhere. The bathroom upstairs, touching and rubbing against me. He was very sneaky. His first day there, I was watching Spring Breakers, embarrassed by the inappropriate pool scene. He made a slick comment and misjudged me completely. He called himself boosting my confidence by bending me over the sink and forcing me to look in the mirror to see how beautiful I was. On the day of prom, my dress was very revealing. It was gorgeous, I loved it. My whole back was out, no bra. It was a lace peachy gown with a cloth skirt and top sewn in. Adorned with jewels, I added diamonds. My guardian gave me dailies a lot. The slushies 5%, but I was still a kid. They used to think it was funny to get me drunk. After a lonely night, I had to climb in the front porch window. Everyone was gone or asleep. I drank away my sorrows before letting in her son and his friends. I woke up on the couch with my after prom romper still on, breast exposed, legs wide open while I'm receiving oral from the predator. He looks up and makes me hold down his head. After a while, he gets up, I get up, and try to run upstairs. He bends me over the couch. I purposely makes noise. He moves, I run. Next day, he asks why I'm so wet and proceeds to brag to the molester like it was consensual. A year later, after a drugged encounter in a car full of men, of whom included the molester, I couldn't control my saliva as they recorded me and made horrendous jokes. The predator offers to walk me in my dorm. I push him off me and go inside. At my graduation party, more like my previous caretaker's birthday celebration, my bro, who I told about my yellow Hummer dream, finally came through and gave me enough money to put down for a room deposit at Cedar Point. Lucky a classmate told me about this job opportunity. Escape plan in full effect thanks to my cuz who drove me there for only $20 gas. One love, she stayed looking out. Youngest of 8, I tried reconciling with my siblings multiple times, even asked for their help to get me out of that abusive situation. They just tried to control me, judge me, downplay my intellect, slander my name, and watch my every move. I've always been in entertainment. We're the popcorn. My life a movie inside, you gotta watch it. I'ma reach into these pants and put these bands on my pocket. I'ma make a mess in the city, they gotta mop it. After my nephew passed away, I was forced to revisit my demons. I felt disgusted and fell asleep in my car. Sick part about it is, I could tell a lot of them knew why. It is truly sad. Molestation and rape occurs a lot in children's life, and it is swept under the rug, especially in the Black community. It's a twisted cycle, and if I ever have children, it will never enter their lives. Cause I will die for mine, don't even look their way. On Jesus.